what is up, everybody, and welcome back to episode 19 of the Retros Pioneers podcast. I am one of your hosts, Byron Preston Jackson, here with my co-host, Miss Nay T. How you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful. We have an amazing guest with us here today. We have a music producer extraordinaire, Mr. Darius Ross. Give it up for him. Yes. Bigger coming in. Also a connection to another guest we had previously, Mr. Roddy, the host of the gaming convention out there in Detroit, Michigan, the fighting convention that he's been doing, the tournament. And Darius is actually the reigning champion of that tournament last year and this year also?
No, I didn't win this year. I hosted this year. I didn't want to play it like that. Oh man, I know I'm gonna win, so no, I'm gonna let y'all go ahead.
Okay, so he came in and he let the Padawans get a little smoke this year. Let them feel some of the heat. Okay. I like it. Well, welcome to the show. We're excited to have you. We're excited to get into some of your music career, your stylings, what's influenced you, what do you play as a gamer? Yeah. You know you're a Nintendo gamer, a Mortal Kombat champion. So let's get into it. So tell us a little bit where you're from, what you kind of how you got into music, and just a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm from Detroit, Michigan, born and raised.
Okay.
Kind of got off into the music scene. My dad is a pastor, so I was always playing the drums. I was always the bad kid at the end of service, bamming the drums, even when the deacon's like, all right, we tired of it. Yeah. We tired of it. But I'm 3 years old, still slamming the sticks on the tubs. So
started at 3?
3 years old, yeah.
Nice.
So that's how really music started for me, but the actual digital recording side, that didn't start for me until I was about 13. And then I just, it's an ever-going journey. You never stop learning when it comes to music. So
yeah, so you started at 3. Now, was that something that mom and dad they were already musical themselves, or like, here, just pick one of these we already have at home? Or were you just like, I love drumming?
It was like my older brother was the drummer of the church. So
okay,
I was fascinated by just watching him play. I'm like, oh, he just get to be loud and nobody says nothing. Cool, I'm there. So whenever church was over, I'm sitting could barely get up there on the stool, but yeah. I'm getting up there and I'm smacking the cymbals and everything. So, it went from there. He kind of gave me a couple lessons, this, that, and the third, and then I ended up getting better along the way. So, but now wow. It's different.
That's awesome. So is percussion still like your main baseline for when you're doing music, or have you kind of worked into other instruments and kind of mediums?
I've worked into the chords. I've been working on the chord side of it. I kind of know chords because at my pop church, of course, all the kids are going to play or do we're going to either orchestrate the service or we're going to play the instrument. So my second oldest brother, he plays the organ, piano, and my other brother, he played the drums. And so I got on the drums. So we all kind of playing the chords and music. I go by off what I know from him already. Gotcha. Or whatever, but I'm still diving off into being able how to, play the piano fluently or whatever. But, I dibble and dabble here and there. I know what I need to hear, for real.
That's awesome. So what was your, when you first started, what was your, main style of music when you first started, making music?
Making beats. My first style of music, I'm not gonna lie, I was trash, but I was trash, man. I think I started in a program called Reasons. Okay. And when I got off into that program, I was making dubstep, but it was like I was using the most awkwardest sounds, like a dog barking or something, or whatever. I was,
I
was just trying.
How old were you though when you were doing that?
I think I was 12, 13, 12.
Okay. When we're 12, that's what we think. We think, it's like, who let the dogs out?
Yeah, you feel me? Yeah,
I
for
can
real.
Do the same sound.
Absolutely.
I'll just chop and screw it a little bit.
Yeah, just a little bit, man. That's just how it went. I was just it went from me making crazy dubstep beats to where my cousin, he was playing the piano as well, and he was like, Ross, you got an ear for music for real, bro. He was like, man, you know chords. I'm like, bro, we all grew up in church, so how could I not know? So you grew up in church, you feel me? So, it kind of went from there, and then I actually had to learn music more so to me is more mixing the sounds you want than it is actually implementing the sounds you want.
Okay.
So that's what I had to learn. That was a hard swallow for me. I was like, man, I can make these. Once I got good enough, it was like, man, these beats are nice. I'm making R&B, country, everything after a certain point. But it was like, it didn't sound sonically right because I didn't know how to mix. And then I had to it took me about 4 or 5 years to learn how to mix properly.
Mm-hmm.
So, yep, that was the way that went.
I feel you. So what you're saying is that it's really that to get that producer ear to start putting those compositions together, you had to level up. Is really what you're saying. You had to kind of relearn and reorganize the chords you learned in church with the music you had been playing, and then kind of had to bring it all together.
It was unlearn and relearn tactic, because you can be a perfect pianist, but if you don't know how to mix the piano into a beat, it's gonna sound crazy. So that's just the way it is. So I had to actually learn how to really do the things that I needed to do. Like, it's almost like I had to learn, all right, how do you hear it in church? Yeah. You hear normally the organ is loud, but the voices are the loudest. They are supposed to be the loudest. So you got to put everything around it. So that's just really, really the drums first, and then the vocals and all of the extras, music
now,
talk.
Are you doing strictly, is that just for when you're doing gospel work, or is that you applying that also to non-gospel work?
That applies to everything. Okay. It don't matter if it's country, pop. That's really the short-term template for really all music. Really.
I grew up loving the trumpet, and I started playing the trumpet. I haven't played in over a decade. But man, I'm always I need to just have my parents send it back out here and kind of get back into it. And when we have these kind of conversations, I'm like, I need that.
You should do it.
Send it out.
Yeah, you should do it.
Yeah, for real. Try it.
Next podcast, I'll be like,
yeah. Give us a snippet.
That'll be the intro.
We can get something
I haven't
together.
played since the 8th grade. It's like,
hey, look, just send me the stems. I'll mix them in, man. I got you. I got you.
Nice.
I got you.
So when did you realize that you wanted to be, I guess, more of an instrumental, for example, someone who just kind of plays the drums and becomes a drum master as a composer producer? When did you realize that you wanted to be one versus the other?
Well, for me, I think drumming was easy. It was fun. It's very fun to play live, but it got to a point where it's politics in everything you do, pretty much. Whatever field you're getting off into.
People do not realize, yes, it is.
Yeah, it's politics and everything. So it got to a point where music became more political. As far as live to me, I started straying away from playing the drums. So I got off into the digital side of it, and it became so much freer because I don't have to, any record that I do now, I can just shop it out. I don't have to have, of course it's going to be politics according to who you sending it to.
Yeah, but the labels, the companies,
the labels, the companies, the everything like that. And everybody going to want their cut, no matter even if they didn't have anything to do with what you're doing. But it's the creative side to me on the digital side is way more fun and way more appealing than it is live, because now if I'm doing a live gig, I gotta see if they're gonna pay us, for one. And then on top of that, somebody might be stealing off the top. And then they're gonna look at you as the drummer, so you may not get as much as the minister of music or the person that's conducting the sound or whatever on spot or whatever. So you would look at it and be like, bro, why? I just played 4 hours for a gig and I'm only getting $50, bro. What is you talking about?
Yeah.
So I much rather, if I'm gonna do something for free, I gotta love it. So I love the music portion of it. So I ended up just doing the digital side of it. Like I, produce music, call people over. Hey man, you want a session? You want to do it? Or they'll call me. You want a session? Let's record or whatever. Let's do everything. So
What's up?
yeah, for real.
Gotcha. You got a question 18 lined up for you?
No, not yet.
No worries. I didn't want to skip over if you had something ready.
No, you're good.
I was just thinking, that. It's funny. People forget about that as you're moving up through different things, and money becomes involved in things, that no matter where you are, that political side of the money thing, you have to realize you have to take that into account of like, okay, is this the avenue or is this the avenue? And you got to keep your head on the swivel, because no matter where you are, the wrong people will kind of, try to take advantage of your situation. Drummers getting skimmed out of the music business is like a age old tale,
Man.
Especially in a lot of bands, not being considered like as valuable, when it's like you're providing the beat. You're the one working out. You're out there sweating.
Yes, bro.
Banging, like you get a bicep shoulder workout. The song doesn't work without the drums.
For real, man. So let's get to that point. But even on the digital side, on the politics side of it, I had ended up doing a track for, I don't know if you guys are familiar with a lady by the name of Delicious.
The comedian?
But she used to be she used to be on a show called, back in the day, called Flavor of Love with Flavor Flav.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
I was like,
y'all remember that?
Yeah.
Remember
that. Sounds familiar.
We just gonna flip those or bygones. We could just go, I love you, Delicious. I don't ever want you to see this clip and feel like I'm shading or anything. I love you.
Hey, if she sees this clip, I'd be like, hey, we're doing something right.
Hey, look, for real though, but I don't want to feel like I'm shading because of that was crazy. I ended up, me and my cousin, we making beats and everything, and we ended up landing her like first single, and it went number 4 on the iTunes charts.
Okay.
And this is where, in my mind, on the business side, where I was like, man, I gotta love it more than I receive, because she ended up doing 20 million views across all platforms in like 5 months. Bro, I only got paid like $137, bro. Right. I was so mad. I was super mad, but I was like, you know what? I'm not going to take it like that forever. I'm just take it like, oh, it's part of the resume now. It's part of the resume.
Yeah,
so
it's a
now
producer credit.
Yeah.
On a reality star who had a hit song.
Yeah.
And it sucks. That's
Bro.
This is how they do it. You gotta take those early hits, as unfortunate. It's not like you want to, but it's like, if you can avoid it, you can.
Everybody get those first few shoves in the game. It's crazy like that. And then I ended up with my cousin. He kind of like, I want to just say, he has the perfect gift of gab. Like, he does movies now. Like, he films movies and everything. But he's always like had the gift of gab. Like, he can get in contact or reach circles that I never think like people from here can reach. Like, he can reach those people, and I didn't know how, but he know how to talk to anybody. And he ended up getting us in a room with a young lady by the name of Super Peach.
Okay.
And she was a young star or whatever, and she was on a show called The Rap Game with Mulatto and
the rest of those stars. Okay.
So now you get where I'm going.
Yeah.
You get where I'm going. Okay, so we ended up getting in contact with her and her people or whatever. We ended up doing tracks on her. The business didn't kind of fare well with that situation, because we just wanted, we like, man, we done did stuff for Day 26, everything, man. We didn't work with everybody in Detroit, man. It's like nobody in the city we ain't worked with, like, for real. Okay. With the new exception of probably like a Big Sean, T Grizzly. We didn't touch Sada before, all of those guys or whatever. But it's just like, man, we running down a resume just so they won't try to like overtake what we trying to do. We not trying to take the splits all the way. We just trying to, hey, everybody split this 100 evenly. So that way we ain't got no debate about it. It's just like, hey, everybody splitting this 100%, 14 apiece. Bam. That didn't work out. They ended up was like, oh, we just not gonna do it then. And then like a couple months later, they ended up just putting a song out. And I'm like, what? Like, what? Y'all just put the song out without us? I was like, man, they can have it, man. Now, you know, they probably needed that. So, but I done took some bumps in this music thing, but I still love it because that's what I was born with. So you know.
Is
The
there
music game
is there like somebody or some persons that you would like to collab with here in the near future?
Really, any and everybody. I can't say everybody because everybody doesn't deserve that attention. I'm not gonna lie because I get a lot of.
That's a lot of
yeah, yeah. It's so more of the, you know, like the Hers, the Coco Jones, the, you know, those type of the artists that I feel like are making R&B come back. Yeah. Doechii, I love Doechii. Doechii is funny. She funny.
Glad that you mentioned women there, because I was telling my fiance, you know, honestly, the hardest and most innovative people in hip hop, I would say the past 5-6 years, have been women.
Yes.
And they're not getting that flower. They're getting their flowers, but not the flowers for being the best lyricists and innovative. Like they're actually they're thinking about the writing. They're getting creative. They're hitting you. They're spitting fire. Like some of these verses, I'm like,
it's crazy, ain't it?
That was one of the best verses of the year. Why aren't people like really? They're going ham, and I don't think they're getting the flowers for really, really. Like if Doechii, her, and Coco were all dudes, people would be like, "Oh my gosh, hip hop's been it's been saved."
Yeah,
exactly. It's too much to me. It's too much. Like it's nothing. Is nothing that's holding. Like it's nothing that's keeping the let's just say the less talented artists away. I'm not calling nobody less talented, but it's like no filter in the system no more. So like you knew those top outstanding artists or whatever, like you knew them. But now it's like there's no artist development. Anybody can just get off into it. Everybody's getting off into it. And it's like no PR training, no nothing. It's just crazy. It's crazy.
No media training, none.
No, nothing, bro. And it just kills me. Like, bro, who are we letting into the door? But hey, everybody getting a fair shot. So hey. But I think people should have to be vetted. For real, I think so.
Yeah, there's always got to be that internal mechanism that makes people question, like, if they're good enough. That there's got to make people question, you know, should I be here? Am I good enough? And that kind of, you hear actors talking about, even myself, you know, people talk about this, like, you always have that internal fear of like, man, should I be on set right now? Am I good enough to be here?
Right.
And that's a good thing to have, because that makes you push yourself and challenge and rise to the occasion. And if you don't have that, or if it starts to get watered down, then everyone thinks that they're amazing.
And for real, that's really the case. You didn't go through the gauntlet.
Yeah.
For real.
Yeah, you gotta push and believe you're amazing. You can't just walk in amazing, you know?
Yeah. And you know, I think that's the problem, but that's a whole nother conversation. That's the for real.
So speak to that. You're in Detroit.
Mm-hmm.
On hip hop and musical and just all kinds of Motown, everything. What is that like, being in such a musical, historical place and having just access to all that history, but also maybe some of that pressure?
Well, as far as like, I'm gonna be honest, it's all in us here. Like we all think we are Motown. So it's like the history that has been had here, I think people kind of wear that. So it's really no big pressure with people. As far as like
people, it's just a pride. It's a pride kind of chip on the shoulder. It's a pride
type of thing. It's
like
that. We all wear it. So it's like, you know, everybody believes like, all right, man, we can do it again. We can make this happen again. Now, I don't know how, but everybody believes that. So
people, they feel it. Okay.
Yeah, that's how it's going. So yeah,
it's
a badge.
So out of the people all the artists who come out of Detroit, so many, who do you vibe with the most? Who maybe would you love to collab with, specifically from Detroit?
I'm gonna be completely honest. It is a artist by the name of Nico Nior. She's a dope artist, like can sing, can super sing, like give me those chills type sing, not just loud. She can any type of emotion you need in a song. You know, a lot of people that say they can sing, they'll probably just be loud with a tone. But she can really do the runs like a Brandy or and be loud like Monica and stuff like that, you know.
It's Nico Noor?
Yep, Nico Noor.
Let's see if I can find her on Spotify right now.
Yep, Nico. We just recently went to my homegirl Brandy. Shout out to Brandy. She actually hosts poetry nights, pop-up poetry nights here like once a month.
Okay.
She normally like invites all like unscouted talent in the city. Everybody come out. Like it's a good turnout every time. It's always at least 100, 150 people and up in there every time. Mixed crowd. So, and Nico was a artist. I had already been seeing her, but it was just like in hearing her music. And I'm like, man, she really got like when she went up there and did it live, I said, oh yeah, she sold me.
Yeah.
She sold me. But everybody else, of course, I would love to work with, you know, the Skilla Babies and the Big Shines or whatever. But right now, I think I'm off into this R&B / country type bag. It's something that speaks to me other than what I'm hearing on the radio.
Yeah. Yeah. Now so country, okay. I like it. Yeah. That's what's up.
Yeah, country. If you listen to country music, it's crazy. It's like, oh yeah, they telling a story, right? For real. I was listening to Darius Rucker last.
Darius is real good. Darius writes real songs. He writes real stuff.
Man, for real.
Yeah. A lot of people forget, you know, that's our roots. You know, we help create a lot of the country sounds, the rhythms, blues rhythms, the BB King, you know, those folk stuff was really came from us.
Yeah, I was just watching a interview where Leor Cohen, I think he's the head executive or one of the owners or the head. He's one of the heads over like any label like Universal or something like that. And he was saying, I think it was his boss that was saying the plan of Universal was to flood the market with urban music, which is the root. He was like, anything black is the root of everything. And when he said that, I was like, man, even they know. They know it. Everybody know it. Like, it's just crazy. But, you know, we get pushed out in a sense.
That's the thing. That's always been the game plan of so many different sectors of our American society, is that you take those inspirations, you gather them up, and you cultivate them, and then you market it back out to the masses as if it's something brand new that was just they thought of, and it's like, you know,
crazy. Yeah, you right.
It's wild stuff, man.
Yeah, just like chicken. You know, they didn't like chicken before we started eating it. So it was like, you know, we're going to give them the scraps. We're going to give them the arms, the chicken arms.
The feet.
The feet. Yeah. We're going to give them the arms. So, yeah, that's how I normally go. But not everybody eating chicken arms.
Right.
For real.
So, let's talk a little bit about the content you've been putting out on Insta. I've been noticing you do some reviews. We'll talk about what you've been reviewing. What do you like to do for the reviews you do?
I just basically go around. It's a big wave in the city, and it's been here for like a couple years now, 3, 4, 5 years. Actors. The Detroit scene is like blowing up with movies. As I see a movie coming out every 5 minutes, feel like. Every Detroit cinema company is like putting out a movie. A lot of the actors, or a few of the actors, I actually know. They shot a movie in our place, me and my wife's place. So, and like I said, my cousin, he does the movies, and a lot of times, you know, So I just take whoever he's filming and I'll be like, hey man, I'm gonna judge all the work you've been doing. You know, I'm gonna give the cold-hearted truth. If you didn't act good in here, I'm gonna tell you.
He didn't say review, he said I'm gonna judge.
I'm going to judge. I'm taking it straight to the altar. I'm going
Getting
to the
biblical
altar.
with it, huh?
Yeah, I'm taking it straight to the altar. Hey, Lord, help me with this one, but I'm doing you today. For real.
That's what's up. That's what. Now, have you been enjoying this? Something you plan to do more of on the channel? Okay.
Yeah, I got 3 of them coming out between this week and next week. So
Nice.
I got Dewan, guy named Dewan Ford. He real heavy off, probably one of the main actors in most of the movies here that's coming out. He executive produce most of the movies. He's dope. I love him. That's my guy. Kia B, who I just recently did the review on, she dope. My guy Dee. Guys probably want to interview him because he makes crazy moves. Him and Dewan makes crazy moves or whatever. Dee, named Dee Harvey or whatever. Not whatever. I don't want to make it seem dismissive like that. Yeah, so that's my guy. He does a lot of movies. He writes the movies. He acts in them as well.
Okay.
He'll write a whole script and be a side actor just so the movie can get done or whatever.
Hey, I'm all about meeting more people in the business. So
yeah. Like they
that sounds
just
good.
built right around the corner from me. They just built a studio, like a production studio right around the corner. I can like walk out and drive 2 minutes away and go. They got like when you walk in a building, you see a room that's like built for like an airplane, but it's a regular room. But
Okay.
when you look at it, it's looking like you look like you own Spirit or something.
Oh no, is this like a studio space or is this someone? Okay, so they got a bunch of different sets in there, like an airplane set. There's a kitchen set. Okay. Oh, okay, nice.
Yep, they got all of that. It's at least about 20 rooms, but it's huge. It's crazy huge. But they making it happen, man. They making it happen, and I'm trying to be the sound man for one of them. I just want to know who I got to politic with first.
Yeah. No, sound guy is a good gig. That's a very good gig. It's a union job, and you can find yourself on a lot of different sets.
Yeah, for real.
That's a big deal.
Yeah,
that's
for real. Awesome. But for the most part, it's just all the actors that I normally see here, like all of them. Like if you ever get a chance, you can go on Tubi and watch a show called McGraw Ave. And you guys, I'm pretty sure y'all gonna like it or whatever. It's urban street stuff, but it's like more put together than any other urban street movie I didn't see coming out the city or whatever. But it's real nice. It's real nice.
I'll definitely check it out. So outside of like producing music, do you see yourself moving into that sort of a role of being a sound guy, or do you want to stay producing forever?
I think I want to wear a lot of hats for real because you can't be in this economy of what we going through right now. You cannot wear just one hat.
Yeah,
you cannot wear one hat. So like it's lovely to just be in what you love and just be that and make a living off of it. But these days I think they've eliminated that all the way. So it's like not unless you making a lot of money off that, or if you've been making a lot of money off that. So
yeah.
But I think if you just getting off into the circle of things, I think you got to wear a lot of hats.
Yeah.
So yeah.
You're both correct. Like it's our parents' generation was all about do one thing, just do that one thing, do that one thing.
Yeah.
But we got to realize that there's a lot of industries and fields that are adjacent to each other where if you have a skill here, it works and translates in both, and you can do both.
Yeah.
And that's much more fun. That's more fulfilling than just trying to be like, I do this one thing. You know, that one thing can give you skills in 3 fields, and you can maybe you can work on all 3, and so I feel like that's the plight of our generation is trying to figure out, well, I have this skill, but this skill works in 3 fields.
Yeah.
I don't want to pick one. Maybe I want to do can I do all 3? You can. That's the whole point.
Yeah.
And we're just not really figuring that out. So
yeah.
That's one of the things the internet's been good at, is helping people, expand those skills and realize that their skills apply to multiple different things.
Yeah. And that's, it's like I said, the politics rule everything around what I'm doing.
everything, man. Everything we do, you know, whether it's just music, art, being in the business world, you know, being in the labor field, trying to move up in all the fields, always someone ahead of you who might not support you or might support you. It's like,
okay, you right, you right.
you know, it's
So let
political at
me
that point.
ask you guys a question. How did you all meet?
Oh, gosh. Well, it was all really just through Threads. Justin reached out on Threads about, you know, people wanted to do podcasting. I connected with him that way. Then we interviewed me, and it built into hosting. And Nate, it was
Same
very
thing.
similar. What was your
Same
experience?
thing. Yeah, same thing.
So
Same
are you
thing.
guys located in the same space, or is it like all different areas?
Yeah, we're all around.
Where are you, Nate? Where are you at?
I'm in North Carolina.
Yeah. She's on the East Coast. I'm in the West Coast. I'm in Los Angeles.
That's crazy. I never thought like people could work together from across the state like that. That's crazy, man. Everything is possible these days.
But see, that shows you the power of the blurred community, man. That it just, we can connect across the whole country and realize that our unity is what's going to help us grow.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure many other communities can really pull that off when you're not in the same state so effectively, kind of the way, you know, Black folk can.
Yeah, I feel like it has a lot to do with the people, because I feel like Byron and Justin are just very laid back and down to earth, and they are really good at making anybody feel comfortable.
Oh yeah, facts. Oh yeah, y'all had me say y'all almost had me sipping my coffee for a minute. I'm like, oh, this cool. It's a morning on the porch for me.
Have some coffee, man. So go ahead, enjoy it. You know.
Yeah, I have to give them all their props. They deserve their flowers now. They are amazing. Whenever I did my interview with them, I was super nervous, but they helped me like come down to a point of function.
Still.
And then when I co-hosted with Byron on my first, you know, episode, I was super nervous, but Byron really did a good job of just like taking charge and leading the conversation. And it was like, it's got me to a point to now where I'm like, okay, I can do this now. I'm comfortable now. I'm good.
So, you wanted them now.
Big props to them, because they are some amazing people. They really
man, definitely.
Right back at you.
That's why I was giving Justin his flowers early. I was like, man, y'all are making this work, bro.
And that's the thing. If you don't have, people forget the producer, man, honestly, in everything, producers in music, podcasting, film, people forget, you know, like your editor, if you're writing a novel, that's kind of like your producer.
Right.
It goes so far. They do a lot of stuff, man. So much, so much that the people who, when they get the product, that, you know, they see us on the screen, they don't forget that there's somebody building and doing the marketing. Like you said earlier, you see that the Justin is doing all that marketing.
Yeah.
Because like I said, every time I get on any platform, y'all are the first faces I see every time, bro. It's like, man, y'all work. I'm like, are they paying for ads? Are they going crazy like this? Like, are they paying that Google
Don't forget to share.
business account?
Yeah.
Okay. You right. I'm like, man, that's crazy. I'm like, I've never seen like it come from. He said you guys started in October, right? He said October.
I guess it was October. Yeah. I mean, guys, time flies so fast. It was before the election.
Okay.
It was back in the good times when we had a moderate political cycle without crazy shit happening.
Hey, you hear me? For
DEI
real.
wasn't being blamed for the problems of a whole world.
Man, that is crazy, bro. It's crazy how it is now. It's like, man, 10, 15 year ago me.
We don't realize how good we had it in the early 2000s.
Man, bro, we do not realize it, man. Everybody was outside. Everybody was connected. You knew your neighbors, but your neighbors knew your children. Everything, bro. It is nothing like that now.
We're gonna have I swear one day we're gonna have to do a retro political spinoff that like.
Oh yeah. We can get back into the. Let's get back off into the.
No, because every podcast I always have to stop myself. I was like, all right, hold on.
Yeah, we can go down that rabbit hole if you want to.
Take a deep breath and let's keep it on the fun stuff.
For real.
So let's get into some gaming, some pop culture. talk about, first of all, is there any music in gaming, since you're an artist, was there any particular game where the music grabbed you, and because the music was so strong, you're like, damn, I got to keep playing this?
I'm gonna be real. Sonic.
Okay.
Sonic, like the way Sonic and Mario was the first games, it was like the music was just like, no matter what, if I'm playing or not, I'm just vibing.
Yeah.
It ain't just the instrumental, but I'm vibing the whole time. So that kind of helped me a little bit along the journey of music, for real.
Yeah. But Sonic and Mario, those, I mean, those are classic. Those were made from like synthesizers, and those beats, those were
Right.
digital sounds
Exactly.
from
And
the
I
80s.
just seen a video on how the guy made it too. Like
Wow.
made all the sounds from one synthesizer, just doing the edits on them. So like I was like, man, this is crazy. You can make anything off a synthesizer.
Did you guys ever watch the documentary on Reading Rainbow that came out not too long
No,
ago?
I didn't.
You should. Very good. But there's a section where they talk about the guy who did the music, and the little opening, the little,
Yeah.
butterfly. The little machine he did that on, the way that he just amped up and changed the frequency is crazy. You should look up. It's probably that little extra is probably on YouTube, but it's just a little small box. I wish I knew the name of it, but
I think
you
an
probably,
oscillator.
once you saw it, you'd be like, oh, that's a so-and-so.
Yeah, probably an oscillator. Probably.
I think that's exactly what it was.
Probably an oscillator, for real.
It's crazy the way you can take a sound and manipulate these little, just the digital, the frequency is just insane.
Yeah. For real. It is crazy, but yeah, everything is pretty much frequencies when they tell us that they not lying. So
Now, what about modern music in the game? Any game that kind of more the modern, like any fighting game music that kind of stuck out recently? Is Mortal Kombat music?
Mortal Kombat music is more like rock feel, but I appreciate it. But I think it's crazy. I don't play it no more. I used to be a huge like WWE fan, super like creating. Like at one point they let you create 30 characters, and I used to create a whole nother league. Like I used to take the time and create people like detail by detail and do it all day. Like create a whole nother, so it'll be WWE versus whatever league I make.
Yeah, the Detroit All-Stars.
Just create all stars and just do that and just play the little story mode and have everything integrated, like all my characters integrated and everything.
That's sick.
Me and my brother used to do that all the time, like for real. But that, I think their music is what, like I like their music. It's like rockish, but it's like, it's often like I'm a drummer, so I like the drums based on most of the tracks I be hearing. So yeah.
Gotcha. So fighting game extraordinaire. What is your top fighting game you're playing 2025? What are you playing? What are you looking forward to maybe in fighting game?
I am looking forward to a new Super Smash Bros. That was my game. And of course, Mortal Kombat. That's just, I've been playing that since I was 2 and 3 years old. So that, I used to be a Street Fighter head. Okay. I don't really like Street Fighter now because it's too different than what I was last playing on Street Fighter 4. Probably a little bit more on the SoulCalibur side. I was a SoulCalibur head for real. So
I love some SoulCalibur. SoulCalibur 6 did not get enough love.
Nope, it did not
at all. I don't understand. The game was fun. It looked good.
It was fun. It was for sure fun. But you get on there, the net code was always bad.
There was lag.
No, the net code is terrible. And let's not get it confused. Mortal Kombat, their net code is terrible. But SoulCalibur, you basically couldn't get through a match.
Yeah, it was real laggy.
Yeah, real laggy.
My favorite thing about SoulCalibur was just making my own character.
Like, yes, that was my favorite
all day. I must make 30 different versions of Black Mitsurugi. Like,
hey, for real though.
Yeah, that's the best part about the games where you can create your own character. Just going in and
and
making
going
these different
crazy
superheroes and action figure like characters. And
and then I was thinking, like, I'm like, man, they've been having rumors about it. And then I play a lot of like, I still play like a Fight Night. I still play that. I love it. To me, the best boxing game they ever made. I don't like the new Undisputed game because it's like it's glitchy. It's super glitchy, like they weren't prepared. So
Is Fight Night a 2K sports game?
no, I don't. No, it's EA.
EA.
Yeah, EA.
Why did they stop that franchise? I don't understand. Why are we not getting a new Fight Night every year? It was a popular franchise. I
Very
think I
popular.
played the last Fight Night.
Yeah. Fight Night Champion was the last one, but I think EA kind of got what 2K is doing right now, getting lazy.
Okay, yeah.
I think they're getting lazy. Like it's just, rinse and repeat on all the games, probably add one or two features or whatever, but it's really not saving the game. Y'all just trying to get some more money out of us. So
Yeah.
for the most part, I think EA kind of went down because of that. Because before NBA 2K, it was NBA Live. And NBA Live was really fun, like super fun. Like, even if it wasn't as competitive on the actual playing like 1v1, like kind of how like 2K is, it was like fun for all the other things like the slam dunk contest, the 3-point contest, the skills challenge, and all of that. It was like super fun. But it's like, they kind of got lazy. And then 2K was at a start where they were, going crazy. They were trying to beat out the other competition. So it was like it kind of got there. So now that 2K is on top, they have no other competition. So now they're getting lazy.
Yeah.
For real.
Yeah, the sports game world it's a wild one, man. It's a real wild one.
So
yeah, it
just
is.
slightly diverting back to Mortal Kombat for a second. Do you main a character in particular, or are you choosing between different ones?
Okay, so when I first started Mortal Kombat, I was a diehard Liu Kang fan, like from early. On Mortal Kombat, I didn't start really playing it competitively until Juice and Petty taught me how to play in 11. I was all Liu Kang, but in 1, I don't like the Liu Kang design on 1. Liu Kang is, I don't know, he's like a granddad. He's like the granddad now. It's like his style isn't really fun on there. It's effective, but it's not fun. So now I play with my main, I would say, would probably be Shao Kahn, General Shao.
Okay.
And then at first it started with Johnny.
Okay.
Started with Johnny Cage. Yep. It started with Johnny. My Johnny is pretty decent, but I'm kind of losing the sauce on Johnny because everybody's spacing him out now. So I'm losing the sauce on Johnny. So General Shao is, he hit like a truck on there, and I love smacking people with that axe. For real.
Nate, are you a Mortal Kombat fan too?
I love Mortal Kombat, but see, I do too much crap talking. So like I play with and I suck. So I play with Scorpion.
My God, you cannot be one of those.
Yeah, no, 100%. Like, I'll sit here and tell you I'll beat you all day long, but I'm literally button mashing. Like that's me on the arcade machines. That's me on controller. Like,
that's me.
I've caught some W's. Doing that, but
by way of luck.
No, 100%, absolutely every time. But I love Mortal Kombat though. It's a good game. Good series.
Yeah, that's how, like, mashing is how I play Tekken, and I don't mash for real, but that's how I play Tekken because that's how I've always played Tekken.
Yeah.
So for real.
Yeah. Do you think we'll get another SoulCalibur?
We need to. I really think we need to because SoulCalibur was super fun. I'm not
great
gonna lie.
Game.
That was one of the funnest fighting games I'd have ever played. Yeah. Like it was too fun. But I don't think we gonna get it if, like, the crowd ain't really saying nothing too much about it. It ain't gonna come back. Like how they getting another fight night together right now because so many people want another friend, like, another game, another installment. I don't think it's not SoulCalibur is revered like that. I don't think that. Not for real.
No, it's not. It's just unfortunate, At one time it was, but it fell off hard, man.
Yeah, super hard. But I was still playing SoulCalibur with nobody playing. I'm barely getting matches. It's getting to a point where I'm just practicing by myself because I just want to stay sharp.
Yep.
For real.
Justin says, what about the Dead or Alive series? That was a good one too.
Yeah, that was a good one. Dead or Alive was a good series. I played that, but I just felt like I like creating my own character, man.
Yep.
I just like creating my own character. It's just, you know.
And Kombat needs to implement that.
They did at one point. They had it.
Which one was that?
I think it was Deadly Alliance, or not Deadly Alliance, Armageddon. Armageddon. You could create your own character.
Okay.
Yep. You can have different styles or whatever and create your own character. But, you know, that's one, you know, that was a while ago.
That was a while ago.
For real.
Yeah. Now, I understand you're also a Nintendo fan. There was some hot news that dropped this week. I wanted to get your thoughts on the Switch dropping. What are your thoughts on the Switch? You know, we got the Switch coming in. It's going to be TP, not OLED. It's going to be a little bit larger, 7-point-something inch screen.
7.9.
The handles now can be a mouse.
Yep.
But I heard that it's really uncomfortable.
Yep.
And we're getting full 4K, and the dock mode is going to be full 4K 60. What are your thoughts? Tell us about it.
I'm going broke.
So you're all for the price. You think $449 is what they're going for?
Yes, $449 for the base, and I think $499 for whatever extra amenities that they have. But
that's $499 is the Mario Kart bundle.
Okay, the Mario Kart bundle. I'm not necessarily getting that, but I am going to get
money
that.
on Mario Kart.
You're right.
Because it's going to be 80 digital, right?
See, now you got my wheels turning. I might just go ahead and get I'm going to just go ahead and use my firm count and just pay about $20 every week. For real. For real. Hey, look, when it comes to the game and stuff, I will use the hell out of my firm account. I got $6,000 worth of buying power right now.
See?
So you think the fans who are outraged at the price?
Yeah, that is crazy.
Worry about it.
No, it's something to worry about because, like I said, it's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. That price is crazy because I'm like, it's not to me, it at least got to be as big as the PlayStation to make it feel like I'm getting something worth it. Like, you can drop it and it's over with.
Yeah.
At least I can drop the PlayStation, it could be over with, but PlayStation is a little bit more sturdy. So, you know, I probably got some room. I can drop probably 3 more times. But that is crazy just for you know, basically like a re-release of games at higher resolution when they really kind of should have been at it.
Well, the last Switch came out in 2016?
Yeah, 2016, 2017, because that's when Breath of the Wild came to.
Okay. Yeah, and I guess the question has to be asked. I mean, I think the price of the console is reasonable. $449 at 2025, 26. I'm like, that makes sense. But Nintendo coming out and being like $80 games, $90 for the hard copy. Personally, I've been off of the physical copy games for a minute, but still, $80 for the flat base game is like, you know, it made me think that unfortunately, the reason why companies do this, I think people forget, is they probably have data that says something like, I'm just pulling this out of thin air, that something like your average gamer probably spends over the course of a year and a half, $80 on one game anyway.
Yeah.
And they're probably like, well, we'll just charge that up front.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Because if you think about it, you buy a $60 or $70 game, and most players, if it's a game you like, in the first year or 2 years, you might put $10 in to buy like some kind of cosmetic. Yeah. Now it's $80. And the corporations are going to go, oh, so now we can just charge that up front.
Yeah, that's really how they working. And it's like, man, they breaking it down like this. So I'm like, whatever happened to a complete game? Like, why are we paying $80, $90? I remember, it's crazy as this may sound, I remember playing PlayStation 1. And my grandmother ended up buying like what's the name of the game? NHL. I used to play NHL.
Yeah, those are good games.
I used to like just do it just to start a fight on there, like every time. This is all I used to do. So I used to just do a hard knockdown so I can practice the fighting skills. So just in case I play anybody, I know how to beat them up on there. games were $70 then. I remember when my grandma had bought that game, it was $70 straight from Best Buy. It was $70. I'd never forget that. And I was at the time, this was 2001. I was 10 years old. So
gosh,
I remember that. I remember all the games being that high. The only games that weren't that high to me that I don't remember, I remember the games being like $49.99, $59.99, like Crash Bandicoot and everything like that. But like the sports games, I remember them being $70 for real.
I wonder if she got you like a collector's edition or something.
No, it was just the base. The base game. I remember that. What's that? It was a boxing game where you get to knock them completely out the ring. It was on Sega. Like, we had a Dreamcast too. Like those games, like Sonic Adventures and stuff like that. Those were like high price games too. I remember that, all of that being high. But this whole little but those were complete games. So I understand that. But like now, I paid $110 for Mortal Kombat, and it wasn't a complete game. It took 2 years for it to become a complete game. And I'm like, bruh, I'm never doing that again. I'm going to just buy it when the sales come.
Yeah.
I probably game share it with somebody, but I'm probably never just going to be buying it again like that for real.
Wow. It makes me think, Nintendo coming out with the 80 and $90, and also 4K 60 Nintendo game. We're not talking about, they're not going to be running a game that looks like God of War.
Nah.
On Nintendo. Like the next, like Breath of Wild isn't going to look like the next God of War, right?
No.
So we're talking just about Nintendo games will be running at 4K 60, which is still I guess
mediocre.
That's cool, but that was my whole problem. I wish that Nintendo had tried to stay with the graphical fight, at least somewhat.
Yeah.
They just really don't care at all, but
yeah. Man. You're right, but I think more so Nintendo, I think Nintendo has the companies beat on this. The vintage games.
The library is huge. The Nintendo
library is huge. And the fact that their games still remind you of your childhood.
Nintendo is like Apple.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
They want you in their ecosystem, and then once you're in it, you just feel like I can't miss out on the next iteration. I'll be locked out of the ecosystem.
Yeah, for real. That's normally how it go. For real. So
I still have an old iPhone. So
hold on, which one?
The 10.
That ain't. Oh, I thought you was about to say like
compared to the ones we have. My sister still has an 8. She's still on an 8.
Tell sis, give it on up. Tell her stop. Tell her
upgrade. Give it on. They'll give you. Can just turn it in.
She said, She said, no, it's still working. It still work good. So she's not.
The apps still work on there?
Yeah. Her phone still run good.
Tell sis, I said, God bless her heart.
Yeah.
Time to turn it in.
Yeah. I feel that way with I feel like my phone is like gone downhill. Like completely.
Which one you got?
The 10. Yeah. I feel like
you don't just at 16? Least get you a if you don't just go ahead and get you a 13 at least.
I'm an Android man myself, so
yeah. Well, you always gonna be in the loop. It don't matter what. Android is to me better, like way better. And I got an iPhone 14, but I'm been debating on going back to Android but I'm just scared I ain't gonna know how to do nothing this fast.
You won't forget. It comes back quick.
I don't know. I try to use my mom's and she's got a Samsung, I think. I struggle. Every single time I have to use a phone, I'm like, where are your apps at? Like,
that's like, I was with my nephew the other day and he had his phone. I'm like, bruh, like, I'm really now because I really don't know how to work these phones like that.
For real.
For real.
Y'all are young. Don't even.
Man.
Yeah.
My birthday in 2001. You're young.
You're right, but the way technology moving, I knew when my nephew came over, his name Hunter, he ended up coming over and was like, Uncle Dee Ross, I need you to grab my phone. Can you do this? Whatever. I'm like, man, I get off in this phone. I'm like, bro, where your apps at? He like, no, it's this button at the bottom. but you still got to press another button to get to another button to get to another button to get to the apps. And I'm like, all right, bro. Mine's just on the front screen, bro.
Exactly.
Like, I don't.
Those are both Samsungs, right? You got to get a Pixel. You got to go right to the store, get a Pixel.
Oh, so,
I heard those were good phones. I heard some really good stuff about the Pixels.
Yeah, the Pixels, because what Samsung and the other companies do is they put a skin over vanilla Android. But when you get a Pixel, it's just a raw, pure Android, the way it's meant to be used.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's so crazy, man.
But we're getting a little late in the show here. Let's go over what are your top 5 games of all time.
Oh, that's a good question.
Yeah. No pressure. No pressure. Just feel it. Go with the flow. What are you feeling? What games kind of comes to mind?
Okay. Number 1, Tony Hawk Pro Skater. All of them. I'm just going just the whole franchise to me. That's number 1. Number 2, we have Def Jam Fight for New York.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah. Number 3.
Okay, number 3.
We have, of course, I gotta throw this in there. Sonic. I gotta throw the whole Sonic
franchise. Okay.
I gotta just throw the whole Sonic franchise up in there.
Yeah.
Number 4, I will gotta say Mortal Kombat, because that's my game now.
Yes.
And then number 5. The whole Mario franchise.
Okay.
You can't go wrong with Mario. I still got 8 regular, like I got Super Mario and everything on my Switch. So I'm like, I know I can't deny Mario. I got about 8 of his games on my Switch right now.
Gotcha. Okay. Nice. Well, it'll be exciting to see what they do with Mario on the Switch too. Like, what's next for Mario coming up on Switch? Is there another Mario RPG coming?
No, they haven't really said nothing about that, and that's what I'm waiting on. I think those are some of the games that's like lacking. I think the last good RPG that I played was Breath of the Wild.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it's crazy. Breath of the Wild is probably yeah. So it was probably the best RPG game that I played in the last like 10 years, because it took me 2.5 years to beat it.
Yeah.
There's always something to do. Like it don't matter how deep you think you done got 10 hours in and you done did a lot. Oh yeah, you still got you only did 4% of what you supposed to do. So yeah. They need more RPGs, like Mario need an RPG and all of that. I need more RPGs. I get off the fighting games if I get good RPGs.
That's what's up. Okay, well that's an amazing top 5. I like it. Nate, you got anything else you want to throw in there? Any other last questions?
Not off the top of my head. I learned a lot.
Yeah, definitely. Well, Darius, we had a blast with you on the show today. It was amazing hearing your insights into music, into the whole biz, into the Detroit scene. It was wonderful. Thank you so much for coming on. We'd love to have you back again, and I'm sure Justin will be reaching out to get you back just some rotation, and we're trying to get everybody back soon.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And if Justin can hear me, I help with the editing. I will help with the editing. I promise I will. I'll sit back and edit all day. I will help with the clips. I will.
I'm sure he'll take you up on that. Definitely. You guys got to work something out, because he's, the editing is that's the toughest part, and that's where the magic is made. So that's what people do.
Yeah. It's actually easy, because I do it all day. It's easy. But I know he got a lot going on. So yeah.
Exactly. It's like basketball is easy to Steph Curry too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Hey, for real though, you're not lying.
All right, guys. On that note, to our audience, guys, thank you so much for tuning in to episode 19 of the Retro Pioneers podcast. We had our guest, Mr. Dee Ross, with us here today. Please check him out on all of the platforms at Prod by Dee Ross. He's on Instagram, Threads, everything. Check him out there. Don't forget also Miss Nate T. Check her out on YouTube. I just checked out her latest video that you did on Schedule 1.
Oh, goodness.
That was hilarious. Chaos? I think I was the first like on that video, too. I didn't put first, but I think I was the very first like on that one.
I appreciate it.
Liking your stuff. I'm starting to see it. It's bringing to life even more. It's getting even, I like it.
Thank you.
Of course. But guys, thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you guys next week for the Retro Pioneers podcast. We're out. Peace.
Yes.